Hey, what's up guys? It's Chloe. Welcome back to my channel. It's actually been a while since I've uploaded or done anything on my channel. And for those of you who follow me on Instagram, you would know that I actually have been vacationing in Seattle for a bit over a month now. And I just got back home, but I actually didn't mean to take as big of a break as I did. What happened was that I actually had a bunch of content that was pre-recorded for you guys that I was meaning to upload. It was just that because there was so much content, there were 2 SD cards worth of footage that were essentially, I can't talk today, that were essentially split in half. So half of the material was on one SD card and the other half was on the other that was inside of the camera. I forgot the SD card that wasn't in the camera at home, so I couldn't edit or do anything because it wouldn't make sense because half of the information was missing. Does that make sense? So, sorry. Clearly, I'm still not good at this. Now that I am back, I asked you guys on Instagram what it was exactly that you wanted to see from me next. Because I'm actually going on kind of like an extended birthday weekend, and I will be filming all of that footage for you guys, and I will like vlog style it and have it uploaded for you guys when I get back. But in the meantime, I definitely wanted to have something for you guys. I didn't want to just not have absolutely nothing at all. So I asked you guys on Instagram what you guys wanted to see, and it was between scarring travel story time and a Q&A where you guys ask me the questions and I answer them. And an overwhelming number of you guys chose scarring travel story. So here I am, sitting down with my massive tea to tell you guys my scarring travel story time. If you guys are new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button because it really does help me out. And for those of you who are not new to my channel, welcome back. And we will dive right in. Alright, so like I had mentioned to you guys, I have recently been in Seattle for an extended period of time, let's just put it that way. And this scarring story time actually happened on my way to Seattle, my latest trip to Seattle. So it's fresh, it's there. It's yeah. So what happened, you see what happened was, you know, all stories are really good when it starts with, you see what happened was, but there are actually 2 main airports in the Los Angeles area. For those of you guys who are not in the Los Angeles area, there are 2 main airports. One of them is LAX, so Los Angeles International, and then Bob Hope Airport in Burbank, which is a lot smaller and it's more private. I personally thought that, there wasn't much of a difference. So I always flew out of LAX, and this random time, I was like, I think I'm gonna fly out of Bob Hope. Just because it's closer, it's smaller, maybe I can get through faster and what have you. So that happened, and I did get through a lot faster, and everything went through actually pretty quickly. So once I got through everything, once I went through security, I had about an hour left until my flight took off. Supposedly. This is where the first kink in the story happens. The flight was scheduled to take off at like 3:55, and then it got pushed to 4:20 something, I think, and then 4:50, and then 5:30. And so essentially 5:30 was finally the time when we were about to take off and boarded. So I was just like, okay, that's fine. Flights get delayed all the time. I'm not gonna think much of it. Okay. Then, once it got closer to the time to board, airport personnel and the individuals for this airline, I am not going to name airlines because I don't want to say it's not necessary, but I don't want to get sued. I'm sorry, sure, I don't want to get in trouble for saying that I'm about to say, so but the personnel for this company, this airline, and the airport came up to me and they asked me how it would be best to essentially stow my chair and stow my equipment. I travel with 2 wheelchairs. I travel with a manual wheelchair, which for those of you who don't know what that is, it's just, you know, the ones that have, you know, you can manually break it, you can manually push it. It's just a basic chair. And I also have a power chair that I use to get around independently anywhere and everywhere. So they stowed the manual one, no problem, but when it came to the power chair, they were wondering how to. My wheelchair specifically has 2 dry cell batteries that are inside of like this huge box, like scary looking box type thing. And, you know, I didn't really ask many questions when I got it. They were kind of just like, long story short, don't touch it, don't open it, don't do anything to it. Just leave it alone unless you know what you're doing, which I don't know what I'm doing. So I haven't touched anything in that box since I got the chair. This is important. Keep this in mind. And so when these people came up to me and asked me, I told them what I would tell anybody. There is an automatic switch on the lower part of the back of the chair. And if you switch it, I believe it's up, that's for power drive, which is where I can drive it on my own. And then there's also the down, which is for manual push. So you can actually just manually push it. It's just very heavy and it makes no sense if you can automatically push it. But for airport means, normally they just put it on manual and essentially disable the power to it so nothing can happen to it while in the air, and they stow it. We have no problems. Okay. So this person comes up to me and just, not just once, this is what gets me, it wasn't just once, it was multiple times asking me how to do this. And I multiple times answered the same way that I just explained to you guys. And he was like, can we open it? And I said, no, you can't open it. I was specifically told by the vendor who knows 1000% how to deal with medical equipment that you shouldn't open it. I don't know what's in it. I don't know if it's dangerous. I don't know if it can hurt you. I don't know if it can hurt me. I don't know if it can permanently damage the chair. Please don't open it. I am explaining to you exactly how to do this, essentially. And okay, he went away. Then he came back and then he said again, I'm not sure how we're going to go about doing this. Are you sure that we can't open the chair and open the battery of the chair? Again, I am answering this question for you a second time, and then a third time, and then a fourth time. And by that time I was getting pretty irritated, and I said, no, do not open the chair. No matter what you do, do not open the box, do not open anything. Please just leave it alone. I'm giving you the instructions. It's all you need to know. If it were non-dry cell batteries, I guess it's a little more complicated and they can't tilt it. They can't stow it the way they are trained to, which I understand, but this is dry cell, so you don't have to do anything to it. Just push the levers down, put it in, and that's it. I promise you that's it. It's not that hard. Okay. Then I stopped hearing from this guy. And, okay, I stopped hearing from this guy. Oh my gosh, I'm getting heated already. Okay. So, I stop hearing from this guy. The plane pulls up and they tell us it's time to board the plane. Get transferred to an aisle chair because I can't walk without assistance. So it got transferred to an aisle chair, got transferred onto the plane, thought everything was fine until we are sitting literally with the plane on, everybody's boarded, the doors are closed, everything. We are sitting on the plane, not moving or anything for over 45 minutes. And then at that point, everybody is complaining. And then even I'm like, what's going on? This has never happened before. Like, is the plane gonna blow up? Like, is it something like, you know, horror stories? Not for everybody else. It's a horror story for me. But the flight attendant on the plane keeps getting all these calls on the plane. And I'm thinking it's nothing, you know, it's his own business. I'm not going to listen to it. Like, I'm not a flight attendant. I don't know what they're talking about. And then out of nowhere, the guy comes up to me and he says, "Hi." Keep in mind, this is 45 minutes after we're still sitting there, not moving, not doing anything. Okay. We're sitting there and the guy says, or the guy comes up to me and says, they are wondering how to stow your chair and that they don't know how. Do you guys hear the sirens outside? Okay. There are sirens, of course, as I'm telling this part of the story. So, yes, emergency. I was like, I have explained this to this individual who has come up to me several times and explained to him how to stow the chair. I explained it again to the flight attendant. He was very nice. It wasn't his fault. He was just relaying the information that was given to him. I give him the same instructions I gave the other individual and tells it on the phone, puts the phone up. We think there's nothing left. There's nothing else that they can call us for. Okay. Then he gets another call. Comes up to me, asks me, "Ma'am, they're asking me if there is any way that they can open the battery to the chair in order to stow it." Did I not just get done telling everybody about 5 times not to do exactly that? Told the guy again, "Look, sir, I'm sorry, but I don't advise opening the battery to the chair. Again, I don't know if it can hurt you. I don't know if it can hurt me. I don't know if it can hurt any of the personnel. I don't want it to do something that I don't know that it's capable of doing because you guys are doing something that I'm not sure is actually possible for it to do without something bad happening. Don't do it." Okay. So, went back on the phone, said, "I'm sorry, we don't have permission to open the chair. Please don't open the chair." That's it. Puts the phone up. We hear nothing again. I ask the guy, because again, we're sitting there for another 20 minutes and nothing is happening. And then I ask him, I said, "Can you call down and, you know, see what's going on? I would like to know what's going on and what's happening." And right as I said that, the plane starts moving back. So ideally, I'm thinking that they got everything squared away. Everything's fine. There's nothing else to worry about. They did everything as they were supposed to. Calm. So we're in the air, everything's fine. We land in Oakland. That was the first stop in order to get to Seattle. It was from Burbank to Oakland, and then Oakland to Seattle. So we land in Oakland, and they deplaned everybody first because that's what they do when you have some sort of like medical, you're needing medical assistance in order to get off of the plane, and you're needing your equipment to be taken out from the belly of the plane. So that was normal. Deplaned everybody, got the aisle chair, got me out, then they got the chair, got me into the chair. I'm ready to go. Keep in mind, the plane was delayed by about originally an hour and a half, and then they couldn't do anything with the chair, so then it turned into like 2.5 hours, or they couldn't stow the chair properly, so then it turned into 2.5 hours. So I am delayed by 2.5 hours. My next flight is literally leaving in about 10 minutes. So I have 10 minutes to get from one side of the airport to the completely other side of the airport just to make this flight, this connecting flight. And they get me in the chair. I'm ready to go. I'm fast. I'm like, yes, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get there on time. No. I go to push on the power of the chair, and nothing happens. Let me tell you what has never happened in my history of having a wheelchair. This exact chair, this exact model, I mean, I've had several of them, but it's always been the same model. Does that make sense? I've had this chair since I was in middle school. Elementary school, actually, now that I remember accurately. I was like in 4th grade when I got my first power chair, so since 4th grade. And this has never happened. If for some reason it's shorting out or something's happening, like it'll turn on, but it'll just start blinking really quickly. And then that means that a cable on the side has been disconnected. I know how to connect that. That's easy. They taught me how to do that. They never taught me what to do had the chair, you know, been attempted to turn on, and it does absolutely nothing. So I'm sitting there like, I'm mad now because I'm like, I have 15 minutes to make this flight. The people in Burbank didn't tell me what they did at the end of the day to my chair in order to get into the belly of the plane. I don't know what's going on right now. And on top of that, they obviously did something that I told them not to do. So what is going on here? So at this point, unfortunately, I am so sorry to all of the crew in Oakland. I didn't mean to give you sass, but you can tell I'm upset. And why this would be upsetting to begin with. But I'm sitting there, and then they said, okay, ma'am, how can we help you? So, how can we help you? And then I said, I don't know how you can help me because I specifically gave the people in in Burbank, clear instructions on how to not mess up the chair. And that's exactly what's going on here and what has just happened. And they said, we understand that, ma'am, but we don't know what they did. What do you mean you don't know what they did? You're telling me that you don't have a phone in order to call the people who did something with your same airline. You don't have, like, the phone number to be like, hey, so we have this person here. You did something to the chair. Help us fix it. You're telling me you can't do that? This is your problem. This is your airline, and this is just you. So fix it. And then at this point, the people are just sitting there looking at me like I'm crazy. Like, I'm not crazy. You guys are crazy because you guys did something. So, at this point, I said, all I know is that in the back of the chair, if you put the levers up, it will put it into drive. And I am supposed to be able to drive this thing. They put it in drive. Nothing happened. Again, the thing doesn't even turn on. It doesn't respond. It doesn't do anything. And then they asked me again, ma'am, what do we do in this case? And I tell them again, yo, I just told you I don't know what to do in this case because I've never had this case happen before. Now have I? So I'm sitting there, and then they essentially have like a group of people. It's about 5 to 10 people who are going around in a circle and just trying to examine this thing like, oh, is it this? Is it that? Like, we don't know what to do. We don't know how to fix it. Like, what? And one of them was a nurse. She was so sweet. Oh my gosh, I don't know your name, but I love you. If you're watching this, you're probably not watching this, but I love you. Thank you. And she was really sweet. And she's like, I know I work in a hospital and I know how these things are. I know how this, like, these airport people sometimes don't listen. And I'm so sorry for the inconvenience, but how can we help you? And right as she said that, this other guy, this younger guy, comes up to me from behind. He's obviously looking at the back of the chair where I can't see because I'm sitting in the chair. And he says, excuse me, ma'am, the box is open. Maybe it's something in the box. So you're telling me that you guys did the thing that I explicitly told you not to do? So there I am. I'm sitting. My flight at this point is like, what, maybe 5 minutes away from taking off. And I'm just mad because the box is like wide open and I don't know what to do. I don't know how to fix it. I don't know how to connect something like in the box because, again, they never told me how to do something in the box because I was never supposed to open the box, but I told them not to open the box, but they opened the box, and then here we are. So I'm sitting there and I said, no, I don't know how to fix it in the box. Sorry. Like, what do you want me to tell you? Oh, and by the way, my flight leaves in like 5 minutes. What are you gonna do? Because this is your problem. What are you gonna do about it? And then they're all sitting, looking at me like, what do you mean? What are we, like? So at this point, they had to get a manager or a supervisor or something to come down there. And they're like, oh yeah, or this guy is like so calm. He's like, excuse me, ma'am, what's going on? I'm not going to recap what happened. You guys just all know what happened. So I recapped it to him like in a really short, concise, angry way. And then he's just sitting there looking at me like I'm insane. And he's like, don't worry about it. We will get everything under control. Just please stay calm and we will get you to your destination. Okay. So I don't know how many people had to fiddle around in the box. I don't even know what they did. I don't even know how they sealed the box again. I don't know what they did. Long story short, somehow, miraculously, they just did something and it turned on. And everybody started freaking out like, yay, we got it to turn on. But I'm like, I mean, obviously I was happy that the chair turned on, but I'm like, why did we have to go through all of that in order to get here? Like, at this point, I didn't even have time to be happy. Because then Mr. freaking, like, supervisor guy was like, okay, well, we just called your next flight, and they're waiting for you. And I'm like, wait, you're having an entire plane of people, like, just sit there waiting for me in order to get there? We've been here for about a half hour now. He's like, oh, yeah, no, they're still waiting. They're at the gate. Like, you're the last one. You got to hurry up and make it. I'm like, okay, sir, where is it? Thinking this guy's going to tell me, oh, it's right next to us. Don't worry about it. No. This guy is like, it's on the other side of the airport. And I'm like, okay, maybe it's a small airport. Oh, excuse me. Maybe it's a small airport. Maybe I can make it. It took 10 minutes to get from point A to point B. And as I'm running, the guy's like, don't worry about it, ma'am. We will compensate you, and we will get this all straightened out for you. Once I got onto the other plane, it took off. That's it. That's the end of that. That's all I knew. They got the chair under the belly of the plane in under 5 minutes because clearly they knew what they were doing. They didn't even have to ask me, but clearly they knew what was going on. And yeah, got to Seattle. Everything was fine with the chair by then. We're all good and fine and dandy. And then at that point, I'm thinking, I'm really tired, but they did say they were going to, like, compensate me, or they should have given me a phone number or something, or somebody I should call that, you know, could probably help me with this situation. Or maybe, you know what, maybe they made, like, a note in my file, like, this happened before. If she calls, help her. Okay. Got to Seattle. Then I just, like, started, like, chilling in Seattle, and, like, it was fine. But I then called... what was I about to say? I was about to get sued. I called the airline that I had dealt with previously, and I essentially told them what happened and said, how can you guys help me? Because this was your guys' situation. You guys did something that was blatantly against what I had asked you guys to do. And as a consumer, as a client, I am very unhappy about this. I would like to know what you guys are going to do in order to help me now, because clearly you guys didn't help me when I told you to help me to begin with. You guys made it worse. And they just, on the phone, kind of just obliviously didn't know what I was talking about. And I'm like, what do you mean you don't know what I'm talking about? The guy, the manager, the supervisor, whatever his name was, or whatever his title was, should have made a note about it and should have told you guys that something had happened. No, it didn't happen. So they said, excuse me, ma'am, we would please like you to file a formal complaint by going to www.thisairlinesucks.com and, you know, writing to us. And then from there, we will create a file for you. And okay, why does it have to be so difficult for me? I'm the one who just went through all the issues. Why did it have to be difficult on me? Why can't it be difficult on you for once? No. Okay, no. So... that was my story time. That was my rant. That was my, I don't know what it is, but I'm heated again. Because I don't think that's necessarily fair. I haven't had very bad travel experiences, so when people ask me, what is it like to travel as a disabled individual, as somebody who has a mobility impairment, what is it like? I have never had to give any bad reviews or say anything bad. I've always had, like, just great help and service until this time. And then that makes me think, obviously I am not the only one who has gone through this. I looked it up online and I saw other really terrible, horrible stories that have happened to other people when traveling, where they break people's equipment and I mean, they hurt them, actually. I mean, I'm not even gonna get you started. That happened to me once. Wait, I just said there were no other horrible stories. Anyway, you know, other people have had horrible situations happen to them as well. So the fact that this is still happening, that airport personnel and airline personnel do not know how to deal with situations such as these, or are briefed on how to do XYZ or how not to do XYZ, is just astounding to me. And I don't feel like it should be like that. I feel like if you have somebody with some sort of, I feel like the consumer and the individual who is in the situation would be the best person to consult with when speaking about anything having to do with their personal body, their personal belongings, as well as their personal equipment, because that is an extension of themselves. Had this chair broken, what am I gonna do? I only have one arm that is, as you guys can tell, that is perfectly able to do everything. The other one can't. I can't push myself with a manual chair. This chair costs a lot of money. I can't out of pocket just shell out thousands of dollars in order to fix a problem that wasn't my problem to begin with. It was an airline problem. And this happens to people all the time. And this is what's insane to me. How is this a thing? How is not listening to people a thing? What got me too, that I didn't throw in here, but I should throw in here because there we go, is that the guy at the very beginning, remember the guy at the beginning of the story who asked me about 10 times if he could open the box and do something inside the box? We're talking about him again. Now he asked me how much experience I had with being in a chair and being in this power chair, because he had a year of experience. He had a year of experience dealing with equipment, so he somehow thought that he was more, that he knew more than I did in this specific instance, I guess. I don't know. He asked me how long I had been in this situation and how long I had been in this chair and if I really knew what I was talking about. Do you think that I don't know what I'm talking about when I have been in this situation? I've been in this chair for, I've been in this chair for about 16 years. I've been just disabled in general for my entire life, 24 years now. Do you think that I suddenly am just like, what? Why do you think it's acceptable to ask me that question? Answer me why that is in any which way, appropriate. It's not appropriate. And I don't know. I'm upset. Clearly. I'm frustrated. I had a flight coming home with that airline. I purposefully missed that flight because I will not be flying with them ever again. They will not be getting my business. Will I spend and waste my time trying to fill out a request for some sort of hearing or whatever with them? No, I won't. You know why? Because I know at the end of the day, I'm going to lose that. Why? Because I'm one person and they are a multi-billion-dollar business that has been doing this forever. And who am I to just go up against them and say anything? Who am I to just think that I'm even going to make a dent in anything? And I know that's really demeaning to think, here I am saying that I want to make a difference in the world. Yeah, but at the same time, I'm thinking realistically. And money in this world is something that wins a lot in court. And I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be the one to win this. So all I can do is not give them my business. I can share this story with you guys. And if you guys are ever demeaned in any way whatsoever when traveling, I don't want to say don't, but make sure you make it known what's going on. You file a complaint. You do everything you can. And then from there, don't fly with the, don't fly, fly, please. Travel is an amazing gift, but don't go with airlines that clearly only see you as a liability. And okay, I'm super sorry about that. My SD card, I was recording for too long and my SD card didn't like that. But yeah, that was my story time. rant. I mean, if any of you guys take any, or and if anyone takes anything away from this video, I guess it's just to speak up. Don't let anybody take advantage of you in this way. Don't let anybody demean you. Because, you know, we're more than just people in these situations. We're more than just these situations. We're real people. And I feel like in this situation, I was definitely treated as not a person, more of just an object because of the equipment that I had to use. And that to me wasn't cool. I don't know. Wow, I'm pretty freaking heated, not just because it's the middle of summer, but because I'm actually like angry and upset now. But yeah, so thank you guys for tuning in. I am so sorry that this is the first thing that I am uploading and sharing with you guys now that I am back. But I promise you the next stuff that I post is going to be really happy. There is going to be Disneyland birthday stuff, and there will be Vegas birthday stuff, and I will be doing really scary things because I am an adventure seeker. Not really. My friends want me to go on roller coasters, and I'm terrified of roller coasters, but I'm going to be showing you guys that I'm going to go on roller coasters because I'm an adult and I should probably do that once in my life. But yeah, so if you guys like this, if you guys would like to share anything with me in the comments, or just please tell me in the comments below what you guys think. If you guys have experienced anything like this, if you guys have heard of anything like this, please share this, because I feel like there needs to be more awareness to situations such as this with individuals. Just not taking things, I don't want to say taking things seriously, but just not treating people with respect solely due to the fact that they are in some way, shape, or form handicapped. And I think that's freaking disgusting. Leave me a comment down below what you guys think. Like this video, share this video for sure, subscribe. It really helps me out a lot, and I can't wait to see you guys on the next one. I promise you it's going to be a lot happier and more positive and not this. So I will see you guys on the next one. Bye.